Right, here we go. Money Rider lads back together again. Unfortunately, we couldn't all get around the table today. Beggars can't be choosers. But here we are. Obviously, the official season, lads, starts tomorrow and Saturday. Obviously, getting anything sort of up tomorrow is going to be a bit short notice, given everybody's busy lives and social lives. So we're going to have a quick look at the Saturday cards, folks. We're going to start, we're going to jump around the card a little bit. We'll concentrate on the 5 big races, as Sean was sort of pointing out earlier on. So we'll start with the 217, the 2 mile 7, the Native River handicap chase. Obviously, first couple of names appearing, lads, that we know. You've got T Clipper, Kitty's Light, Peregrine Run, Nats and Co, Jamakar, Golden Taipan, Captain Nord, and El President. So, anybody got anything in this race that they wanted to sort of highlight?
Yeah, I'll go. I know we were talking about this earlier, and we were saying picking a couple out. I mean, it's not the strongest of Native River handicap chases, but some decent types, some good staying types as well. Yeah. When you consider T Kipper, Kitty's Light, what that horse done last year was fantastic. Always in the frame for Christian Williams, who loves a staying chaser. I think most of his probably practice on a 5 mile track, because they just seem to stay for days, those horses. They just go and gallop. That's why, for me, Kitty's Light is the one that stood out straight away. Jack Tudor has taken the ride, obviously carrying bit of a hefty weight, 11.11, but again, proper horses now with proper weights. That's a hefty weight to run around. The ground isn't going to be too much of a trouble for this horse. It seems to really strike a chord in the early part of the season, running up to like the Welsh Gold Cup and the Welsh Grand National and things like that. So for me, Kitty's Light stood out at 11-4.
Okay, fair enough. Jamie, you got anything you want to add?
Yeah, I had a quick look of the Native Handicap Chase, Class 2, 2 miles, 7 furlongs, and the important 131 yards. I had to put that in. I always have a horse tracker, and I always have a little bet with this particular horse, especially in the big handicap hurdles when he was racing last season. And that horse is the T Clipper, trained by Tom Lacey, and it will be ridden by Stan Shepherd. I thought he done really well over the hurdles last season, and then he progressed over fences as well. I thought he'd done quite reasonably well. He's won at Chepstow before last year over hurdles. I think it was a 2 mile 3 off my top of my head, but I'm not really sure. I think the Grand and the Trip will be fine for him, and I think he'll have a good an each way selection for me for T Clipper. I did look, and I'm not sure.
Yeah, 2 mile 3, Jamie, at Chepstow, it was there.
Yeah. So, what's the odds for at the moment for William Hill? Because I saw.
I'll say only William Hill with the odds at the minute. T Clippers, they've got a 9-4 in a minute.
Right. Okay. So I do like T Clipper, but with Kitty, like with what Sean mentioned, I won't be surprised. This will be, even though she or he will do really well in this race, but I'm sure you will see Kitty's Light in the Welsh Grand National again, and I think we will do really well on that extended trip at the end of this year for the Welsh Grand National. But my selection is T Clipper.
Okay, Mark, have you picked one out in this race?
Yeah, I like T Clipper. I think I'm with Jamie on this one. Sorry, Sean. I was impressed by his last 2 performances. He come 4th at Cheltenham and then followed by a 4th again at Aintree. But like it's pretty much reiterates what Jamie said. Excuse me. I think the ground and everything else, etc. I think he's going to handle really, really well. Agree again with Jamie about Kitty's Light, Welsh Grand National horse. And this is what the National Hunt season's all about. It's what we've been waiting for. So I think it's going to be a real tussle between a few of these. T Clipper just edges it for me. Not really much more to say because Jamie's taken my limelight, as he says.
Especially these lights as well. I've taken your limelight.
Well, yeah, I've got to be honest with you, lads. I've been a bit short on time, so I haven't really sort of, picked any out. you know, a bit of a price, Golden Taipan, you know, just sort of catches my eye a little bit. Like Sean said, you know, not you know, not a lot of world's best horse by any means, but generally performs. He's, you know, quite consistent. You normally get a good run for your money. You know, it's that early season race that you know, Fergal normally, you know, snaps up, doesn't he? You know, so I wouldn't be surprised if he, you know, he don't add some early wins to the, you know, to the bank, like, you know, that's what he tends to do, isn't it? Really. So but yeah, I'm with you. You know, I mean, obviously, when you look at the card, you have to concede that, you know, T Clipper and Kitty's Light are the class in the field, if you know what I mean. They both performed at a what you might call a higher level. As you say, Jamie T Clippers, you know, perform admirably against some very good horses, you know. So, you know, it's not as strong as field as what T Clippers running in the past. So, you know, this could be one of them opportunities to get a one on the board, you know.
I mean, I would like to see.
So I couldn't, you know, completely discourage, you know, either selection really, whether it be T Clipper or Kitty's Light, because you can say the same about Kitty's Light, Sean, you know. Might not be a you know, like an outie or, you know, or a that wins and a winning machine, but performs well, has performed well at some decent levels, and it looks the sort of race that, you know, he's sort of winnable, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, the only thing as well, I would like to see. We always been moaning the past couple of months about runners like less than 4 runners or 5 runners. I do hope to see it'd be like, you know, 8 or more runners in the card, or if we can, you know, so you know, your each way value for 1, 2, 3 for the punters, and also a bit of competitive in obviously with the races and all that. I know you've got the flat coming to the end, but we need to have competitive racing anyway. So
yeah, absolutely, yeah. I'll tell you what, they just catching my eye there. He's just looking at the card. He's that like Nats and Co. That actually looking at that, you know, you got like what 3 runs in April, March, and February, all at Chepstow. 1 or 3 of them.
There we go then. Course form.
Yeah, for course form. You know what I mean? You can't. You know, I mean, I'm surprised that's not got a tip up on the, you know, on the actual racing poster. You know,
it's probably a step up in grade for the whole.
Yeah, it could obviously. Yeah, as you say. Yeah, I mean, we were only talking about that before we started recording, Sean. You know,
exactly.
It is all well and good, you know, picking out an horse that you know that has run well at a very sort of low level, but it doesn't mean to say it will. I mean, it could do. You know, what I mean, like I say, it could fulfil that promise. You know, but,
of course.
But anyway, yes. So just what I mentioned is it caught my eye.
Yeah. But talking of small fields.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So moving on to the 252, the Dunraven Windows Novice Chase, 2 mile free, half a furlong. Yeah, not obviously the biggest of fields, as you say, Sean. But you know, sort of tidy little field. But fabulous. You know, again, as you know, good horse that most people know of. You know, trained by Nichols. Cobden again booked. At the moment, 8 to 11 looks to be the favourite of the 4. Then, of course, you've got Sebastopol that, you know, a few people have sort of followed off the cliff a bit. But again, has shown promise, you know. Then you've got Victoria's Peak, Sam Twiston-Davies, Nigel Twiston-Davies. And then in turn, the Sibilla, by the looks of it. Again, I mean, they've all got a bit of form. They've all got a kind of simmerish form.
I mean, this has got the feel of a straight shootout, though, isn't it? Like, I mean, again, you don't discredit anything in jump race.
Quite,
you know exactly.
It's not a bit disrespectful.
I fully appreciate that. You know, you're not going to write off the Jane Williams and Twiston-Davies horses at all in a jump race, but you've got McFabulous, who was touted to be this staying hurdler. They wanted it to go against Tyne Hill. Put it to be like, but it's not. They're reverting to chasing. So fingers crossed, because it is a great horse. It is. There's no doubt there's ability there in the horse.
Absolutely.
I don't think the horse is aware of almost what, you know, are we jumping the smaller or the larger ones? What's more comfortable for his jumping? So I think it's a straight shootout, but if it is a straight shootout, you could have a great finish, because Sebastopol is also put in some performances in of late, you know, that are very, very impressive. Or last year, sorry, should I say?
Yeah. As I say, I mean, they're often Sebastopol always gets a mention and seems to get mentioned on ITV, you know.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, like I say, I haven't got much of an opinion on that one in that race. I see it as a straight shootout. What way it goes will all depend on what McFabulous turns up.
I mean, like I say, I'd be inclined to lean to the favourite, but as you say, you know, Sebastopol's capable of taking it. As you say, if McFabulous doesn't perform, if McFabulous does perform, then I think he should win. But you know, I think Sebastopol has got a chance because of the inconsistencies of McFabulous. You know.
Yeah. 100%.
Lads, do you not think it's early doors to have such a short price of 8 to 11?
Yeah, probably. But
I mean, compared to look at like Nappers Hill, who's also running on Saturday, and we all know what that horse is capable of. Glenn, you've mentioned it plenty of times before, and that's only that's a 100 to 30 favourite. You know, compared to obviously so much bigger field. But I just think, you know, like what Sean said about Sebastopol, it's definitely going to be a straight shootout, I think. And such a small field, it could be the right move or the wrong move. Fabulous. I like Fabulous. He's a good horse.
Yeah. So I know it's another one. I know you liked him in the past and that. So
yeah.
Did you sort of look at anything in this race, Jamie, at all or not? You know.
I mean, I've not really, but when you mentioned the horses calling out, you know, who's going to be running on Saturday, I like to see Matt, like Sean says, I like to see Matt Fabulous and see how he does over the bigger obstacles because sometimes some horses do improve a lot going over fences instead of going over hurdles. And also, I like to see if he will be in that grade races area, or he could be a class two horse like in the big handicaps. But at the moment, I mean, it's a wait and see moment of how he's progressed and how he's strengthened and jumped over fences. I mean, Paul Nicholls banged in a gold today with Shearer at Worcester. So I was hoping that the stable will be be in form. Of course, there's other stables obviously running, but he had a winner at Worcester, so you know, slammed at the back of the net.
Okay, all right. Well, let's say a very, very small field. It can't sort of elaborate too much more than that. So we'll move on to the 327, the John Ayres Memorial Handicap Chase. Again, as you say, Sean, another small field.
Yeah.
You've got Paint the Dream in there for Fergal O'Brien, Light and Strike for Emma Lavelle, Galahad Quest for Jane Williams, and then of course you've got one that I've championed for in the past, Flico Voyo for Nicholls again. Again, Sean, you'd probably put him, wouldn't you, very much in that McFabulous mould. He's been some
could have been any
runs, and then there's been some much below par runs.
100%. It's one of those. It's another one. I mean, that's. I know we spoke about a 4-horse race just then, but this one is a very competitive 4-horse race. When you're looking at a favourite 15 to 8, the outside is only 100 to 30. So anything can happen type of race. Again, as you mentioned, Flico Voyeur, you know, if it strikes the right chord, running off of the 10 stone 4 with Cobden on it, it's a winnable race for him. Obviously, you can't disregard any Fergal O'Brien horse at the start of the season. We know exactly what he's like, so he strikes early doors. Paint the Dream is a consistent type. I mean, not one that I looked at race wise. But
I'm just looking back at, you know, like just quickly glancing back at, you know, the form and like, you know, when he broke through, you know, I mean, first couple of races at Wincanton, he won them. Won them quite easy by 6 lengths and 3 1/4. You know, and then the next race was at the festival, and it was 10th. You know, obviously we all know that Cheltenham's a tough one. You know, and then he seemed to be on his way back with a couple of seconds and a third, and then he went, you know, and then Chepstow, Newton Abbott, Wincanton, he went first.
And
then backpedaled again. You know, so.
It could be an anything type race. That would be an interesting race. That could be an interesting race.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Lads, have you got any sort of thoughts on that race, either of you, or?
Not really. No, not for me. Unfortunately, unfortunately, it's disappointing. Again, it's a small runner race, and let's hope it just doesn't.
But it's early doors, though, Jay, and you've got to be optimistic. You know what I mean? Some of them might not be ready, and and trainers might be thinking, just needs another bit more work or whatever. You know what I mean? As you know, and as we know, Jamie, as being an horse owner, you'd love to know your horse could run every week, but we know it don't happen. We know it doesn't happen, and
I just like
you just have to enjoy it when you can.
Yeah, I just like these big handicaps where you can these massive 14.
Oh yeah, I know you do. I know you enjoy them. I know you like the big handicaps to get your teeth into and
get good prizes for
yeah. No, I would say it's all about what
Oh yeah,
why we love it. Okay, all right, lads. Well, let's push on then. Time is ticking against us. So the next is the 402. That will be the Wadsell Group Silver Trophy Handicap Hurdle, Class 2, 2 mile, 3.5.
And the important 100 yards.
Sorry, I got the unimportant. Yeah, forgot about that. Again, lads, this time bigger field. Say, Sean, a couple of names that we do know. Obviously, Mark, you mentioned once already today, Nappers Hill. You've got Zabeel Champion in there, Broomfieldberg, Masters Legacy, Bubali, Lord, Baddesley. Did They Leave You Out? Proshima, which is one that you've had a mention before in the past, Sean. Unanswered Prayers and West of the Bridge. So there's a few names again in that race, a few not necessarily household names, but certainly a few names that most people know. Sean, did you sort of go for one in this?
Yeah, I toyed with. I mean, there's a couple in this, to be honest with you, but in the end, I landed on, or what I felt I'm going to lean towards is Broomfieldberg.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to be honest, an inconsistent type, only a 6-year-old still, so a lot to learn. Had a great run. Had a good run at Cheltenham in the Stateman race that Stateman went on and won. I mean, look, 17 lengths behind the winner, but I mean, a lot of people were a long way behind that horse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. After label that, as a disappointment one sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's 15 to 26 in what was the last field, then goes on to running Aintree at the festival there and ended up coming, I think, 6th there. But again, to a very good Langer Dan, who would have won at Cheltenham. Yeah. Obviously, fell at the first at Cheltenham, I believe. So then went on and won at Aintree. So again, behind another good type in that type of race, to be fair. I mean, has come up against Nappers Hill a couple of times, and they've both been just outside the placings, flip-flopping each other. So, yeah, I mean, look, like we've not said before, Glenn, they don't all come out striking hot, the top horses, early doors.
No, exactly.
You're not going to get these 8 to 11s. Yeah, you're not going to get these 8 to 11 favourites, these whatever they are, bolting up every time, first time round. They're getting a run into them. I think Nappers Hill will go on to have a good season, as I do Zabeel. Is it Zabeel Champion? I think.
Yeah, Zabeel Champion. Yeah.
I think we'll go on and have a good season as well. But I think, I think for Saturday with the ground going to be nice and dry, I think Broomfieldberg will have a good run, and at 6 to 1, I think he's worth a punt.
Yeah. As you say, you what you're saying is you feel it's one of them sort of early doors, winnable ones where, like I say, people are not, the horses are not necessarily firing on all cylinders, sort of thing.
No, exactly. So I'm going in for that one. Yeah. Broomfieldberg for me, for John Joe.
Okay. Mark, did you go? Well, a bit of a silly question, really, because I think I know what you're going to say. But anyway, go on. Let us know what you thought there, Mark.
Yeah, this is the one that I've looked more into, and I like taking Sean on, so I think I'll take him on again. I'll go. No, I must admit, I do agree with him in the respect of, which is why I question about McFabulous being such a short-priced odds, because the national season is just beginning. Some horses don't normally come out straight away, but I like Nappers Hill. I know that you've picked him a few times. When you look back, when he had 5 straight wins, and he was in red hot form. He's already had 2 wins at Chepstow. So he knows, like the course very well.
Yeah.
He's been unlucky in a few runs, losing out to John Bon back end of last year. And then in the most notable one, when he finished 15th or 17th at Sandown, but he didn't like the going, and believe he lost a right foreshoe in that race as well. So, but he's come back with 2 back-to-back victories at Newton Abbot and Sandown, and I feel if he can just find that form, when he won 5 on the spin, then like Sean said, I think that Brazil's for a very good season. He's a 6-year-old as well. Broomfield Berg was one I did look at because I actually had him as a once to watch on my tracker when he was potentially going to go for the Supreme. I had a couple of ones and then just sort of drifted off a little bit and just didn't really sort of come back. But Sean is normally the tactician when it comes down to picking these sort of horses that have probably just come out and win by 15 lengths, when my one probably was still running now. But it's
dropping out the TV.
Definitely one that I'll be looking at, and at 130 as well. It shows you on the market. It's very, very open in the market.
Yeah. I would sort of say, looking at this car, these sort of, like I say, early season horses, they're kind of like, to use an analogy, they're kind of like the European placing chasing football teams, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They're not quite the Champions League, but one of them could, as you say, Sean, have a good season and get that 4th spot for the qualifying for the Champions League. To use an analogy like that,
Yeah.
And then, like say, Mark, you say about Nat Brazil's back-to-back wins, but then, as you say, come up against John Bon and just sort of found one in it. You know what I mean? Just not good, but just maybe not that good.
That happens. I'm sure Jamie's got a Brucey bonus.
Yeah, Jamie got in.
A Brucey, good game. Brucey bonus. Well, I had a look on the field, and I've gone for a Joe Tizard horse. Is it Boorbell, a 5-year-old?
Boo Barley, I'd pronounce that. Bourbali, Boo Barley.
Yeah, all these pronunciations. Yeah.
You take something if people who've named the horse, and half would be different to what they said.
Well, half the time I need a dictionary the way I have to talk. Anyway, it's ridden by Brendan Powell. So I would like to see Joe Tizard get a really good start off on the season, because it'll be really good to see how he does this season, because it's a full season for him. And he when I looked at the form, his best winning form was at Sandown, winning by 4 lengths. And he did that really well. Yeah. He did that really well on ground conditions. That should not be a problem. I'm hoping the ground will get a little, good to soft or soft.
I'd say it would appear that would be in his favour, definitely.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I've been hearing that around the Wales area there has been rain, hopefully, and hopefully we'll start getting a bit of rain there. And that was his best winning form. But he has run at Chepstow before, but he finished second. On soft conditions, but he was not far away, and that was from a horse who's trained by Emma Lavelle called The Street, the famous colours of Trevor Hemmings, and I think he got beaten by 1 3/4 lengths. So I'm really hope that Borbal, or whoever how you pronounce it, I'm hoping he'll get an each way chance. Getting the places in the first 3.
We've got him 8-1 at the moment, not William Hill.
Yeah, and I think he'll do really well. And considering he's got a bit of form on the ground, and he's run there before. But like we all say, this is the beginning. It's not the sprint. It's not a 5 furlong sprint. It's the marathon.
100%. You can't argue with that end of season form there. You know what I mean?
What's happening now? It's everybody's got their chessboards on the table, and now the trainers are starting to move their pieces along and see if they're going to get a checkmate or check and try and progress their horses. So it's going to be interesting this season.
To be fair, Jamie, your pick there as well. Started last season in October at Chepstow and won.
Yeah. So there you go.
Well, so it'll all play a factor again. Yeah, but just looking at that.
I like to see, you know, a bit of, I don't normally go when I do bet. I don't normally go for like ground conditions or anything. I'll go for form, but also I'll go for a little bit of my gut instinct of also what I've seen in a previous. You know what I mean? So I can see, you know, I can remember it, and I go, right, I'll go for that form. I have a look at that form, and then I'll go if I've got enough time, I have a look how he did on that course. You know, it's
well, a lot of it is that gut instinct as well. And we said it before, and I don't care how many of these pods are going to come on here and tell us we're wrong for this and wrong for that, because jump racing in itself, there is no one that can tell me that there's a dead cert. It takes one horse to clip a fence. It takes one this. So, do you know what I mean? You're going to get it. Everyone that comes on these sort of platforms,
that's not a problem.
Will always get someone that turn around and go, "No, you're dead wrong."
Envoy Ellen, prime
Prove
example.
it. Well, it's not that. Yeah, you know what I mean. Prove it. It's jump racing. You've got to go with a gut instinct. Luck does play a part.
It's always the same with jump racing, and it's always the same with flat racing. I mean, everything goes on, but you know, everybody's got their opinions. They can always put their comments on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, lads. Well, I say time is very quickly running out on us, so we better move on then to the 4:37. That's the Paul Ferguson jumpers to follow, 2 mile and 11 yards. It would appear, Jamie.
Hey, 11 yards.
Bit of a bigger field again. Not the most sort of standout of fields. You know, you got a two-tone in there by the looks of it, Impulsive One. You got Saint Seagal for Jane Williams. You know, some decent form end of last season. So did anybody really sort of, you know, go for anything in particular, or did they have a sort of glance at this one?
Not on that one, mate.
Not really, no. I will be looking on Saturday itself, but I will be doing that. But unfortunately, no.
I like the look of Too Friendly for the Scoutlands, but I'd have to have a little bit more into that before I'd pin colours to the mask.
Yeah, do a bit more research, whatever. Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, as you say, not a great deal there. So, you know, I mean, we really left with the opener, and in the last race, obviously, there's not really a great deal to say about the first. You know, Gary Moore's got a debutant in there, so you might look a bit more into that. And you know, is that a good one? Is it not a good one? But you know, that'll take a bit more time, as you say, Sean, to do that. And then of course you've got the last, which is the 5:12, the Chepstow Construction Equipment Open National Hunt Flat Race. You know, I mean, a bit of a minefield, that one, isn't it? Really, because you say they really are. You know.
That one could be in anything.
Exactly. It's just trying to find the sort of bloodline sort of element to it, in it, or something like that.
And some of the trainers haven't even started getting their bumpers out, and like,
exactly, I mean, we won't really, we won't rabbit on about that for the sake of it. I mean, we really only got about 5 minutes left, lads. So, has anybody got anything they want to sort of, chuck in just to mention of recent or news or whatever?
Or I could go for the quickly talk about the past week. Christophe Simeon. I think that was absolutely bang out of order. That was ridiculous. The French
that's one thing I don't think people will disagree with, but
French Gallo was obviously quick, but he should have been banned straight away. In my eyes, he should have been banned for between 2 and 4 years instead of 2 months. In my eyes, that was ridiculous. But in the French arc, I thought Alpinista, I thought done fantastic, great story, and also great to see Sir Mark Prescott in his great, training ranks, winning that for the first time. And also, I thought the Platinum Queen, that was absolutely fantastic, and the owners went absolutely berserk as they normally do. A 2-year-old beat the elders, beat the fillies, beat the top geldings and colts.
I was really pleased with him. I was chuffed.
That was brilliant. And now the next step looks like going to the Breeders' Cup in November for the juvenile turf sprint on the grass at November. So she looks like she's about second favourite. So yeah, that was
what
that
day
was
out that would be, eh?
That will be fantastic. There's going to be loads of owners who'll be going over there.
Yeah, I don't blame them, mate. I'll be booking my ticket now.
Mind you, we have to chat about Adagio, won't we? Because
very sad news. Yeah,
it was sad that he passed away on the Gallops. Had a heart attack.
I saw that come up on the phone at work, like
Yeah, so condolences to the David Pipe stable.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I posted a comment on on their Twitter.
So that's
none of us like to hear that. You know what I mean?
No, definitely not. So that's my little my past week little roundup on the talk about the past week.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Mate, it's always good to talk about these things. So unfortunately,
what do you think about Christoph then? Very quickly.
Billy boy.
Like I say, we've got a lot of time to elaborate. We're running very short time, a couple of minutes really. To be honest, we need to wrap up.
I think one of that, Jamie. I think just to narrow it down, to me, he should never race again. But moving away from that quickly, you said about a few highlights. One quick highlight I would just like to mention is, obviously Stradivarius. The career that horse had. What he achieved in his career, the partnership with Frankie Dettori. But also as well, just one quick mention on Kyprios, who won by a massive 20 lengths, even veering over to the stand sides. Probably just to get the fans to have a proper look at him. But he's without doubt one of the greatest stayers, 4 Group 1s in a row, and he'll go for the Stayers Cup at the Champions Day meet next week, which should be a fantastic race against potential Trushan. If he don't get pulled out of the race again, because but yeah, Jamie, you mentioned a few, say Platinum Queen, etc. And it's a good roundup over the last week.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, we'll try and do something on the Champions Day anyway. We'll try and get something done
next week.
That. Yeah. As you say, again, if we can't all get together, as you say, beggars, can't be choosers, So we'll we'll just do what we can,
Yeah.
All right, lads. Well, I say that literally takes us almost to the the end of the record. So brilliant talking racing with you as always, lads.
Yep.
We'll continue to talk as the days and weeks go by, as all roads lead to Cheltenham, as Mark likes to say. And we'll see you again for the next video as soon as we can, folks.
100%.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye, guys.